In this video, I'm going to share with you 6 strategies that are going to allow you to have more effective one-to-ones with your direct reports. These are going to ensure that everyone's on the same page and that your team knows exactly what they need to go away and do. In the description of this video, you can also download my one-to-one cheat sheet, which will recap everything at a top level and also give you an easy reminder of the 6 questions you need to get your team to answer in advance so they're prepared for your meetings. If you're new here though, my name's Byron Morris. I'm the author of the Effective CEO 2.0. And on this channel, I put out various content from everything from leadership to productivity and becoming more effective in your role. So make sure you hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss future videos. Now, in the coaching work that I do, I support a lot of CEOs and leaders to navigate the challenges that come with their role. And one of the biggest frustrations that comes up time and time again is issues with their team, whether it's someone underperforming, not following through, or even them knowing that someone's capable of so much more, yet they're not reaching their potential. The thing is, though, your one-to-ones are the perfect time to resolve these issues. It's where you can have open conversations to really figure out what's going on and give someone the guidance they need to really do their job better. So if you're not getting the results that you want from them, or you're feeling like these are hassle, especially when you're busy, then that's a sign that you're not approaching them in the right way. But that's exactly what these 6 strategies are going to help you fix. So let's dive into it. Strategy number 1 is having an effective meeting structure. Because what you got to remember is your team are busy with varying competing priorities, and a lot of the time they're going to have so much on their plate that their focus is just on getting stuff done. The thing is, though, when people stop and reflect and really process what happened, that's when they get the biggest lessons. They have realizations of what to do better, and it really helps them hone in on what they need to do differently. And that's why with all of my CEO clients, I get them to implement a 6 question report that all of their team go through to prepare for this meeting. The benefit of doing this is not only is it going to force your team to really slow down and think about what's happening, it's also going to give you a lot of insights that you can then use to properly prepare and shape the format of what you need to discuss. So the first question is, what has happened over the last 7 days, or 14, or however frequent you're doing these meetings? The second is, what challenges did we have? The third is, what isn't working? The fourth is, what does your name need to be aware about? The fifth is, what is our focus goals or KPIs for the next 7 days, or again, however often you're doing this? And the sixth is, what help and support do I need? By having this in advance, it's going to make it a lot easier for you to prepare for this session, because you'll be able to see at a top level exactly what's going on. From there, you can think about what questions do you need to ask. You'll be able to see where they may be struggling or overloaded. And you also see any other issues that need to be discussed. What you got to remember is it's your job as a leader to set your team up for success. And you can't do that effectively if you don't have a good understanding of what's going on. Also, every member of your team should have quarterly or at least yearly goals and KPIs, and your one-to-ones are the perfect time to address the progress and make sure that everything's on track. From here, you can really see how are they progressing, what's not working, and you can help them resolve any issues or bottlenecks that may be hindering their progress. If you don't, then you risk 6 or 12 months down the line uncovering issues that could have been resolved if you knew about them sooner. And this is why ensuring that your one-to-ones are structured in the right way is really going to help you maximize what you get out of them. Like I said at the start, I've got a cheat sheet that recaps the 6 questions you need to ask, and you can download that in the description of this video. So that's strategy number 1. Strategy number 2 is having the correct post-meeting follow-up. After your one-to-one, just send a quick email bullet pointing and recapping what was covered. You could frame it in the way of, hey name, great meeting today. As discussed, these are your focus points for the next 7 days. These are your objectives and the things that you need to move forward, or the issues that you need to resolve. The benefit of doing this is they can then easily refer back to it in between meetings to make sure that they haven't forgotten anything and that they're hitting all of their key deliverables. Also, from a management standpoint, by having it in writing, meeting, you're creating a paper trail. So if you have any issues with someone underperforming or not delivering, it's going to make it a lot easier to address or deal with in the future because you can refer back to what was agreed and what was meant to be done. So that's strategy number 2, having a post-meeting follow-up to make sure that everyone's on the same page. Strategy number 3 is creating a performance document for all of your direct reports. You could do this in a Google Doc or however else you want to track it, but essentially you want to be making notes of anything that needs to be discussed. Maybe you see them not handling something properly in a meeting, or you get feedback about them from another member of the team, or maybe there's a huge win that you want to go back and discuss. In most cases, your one-to-ones are going to be the perfect time to address these, but don't always just dive into the issue and instead look for opportunities to also coach your team as well. You can do so by asking them the right questions. Maybe something along the lines of, how do you feel like that conversation went? Is there anything you would have done in this situation differently next time? By asking great questions, you create an environment and an open space where it gets your team to think. It allows them to process a situation where they're then going to learn and improve for the future. Once you've addressed the item in the performance doc, you can either then create a note to follow up and ask again about it in the future, or if you've resolved it, you can then just delete it. Either way, this performance doc is going to make it easier for you to track and monitor the key items that you need to address, ensuring that nothing is forgotten about or overlooked. Strategy number 4 is the frequency of these sessions. How often you should be having one-to-ones with your team really depends on everything from the size of your business to the challenges you're going through and how much direct support your team needs. Some leaders like them weekly, and this can be a great approach, especially if you're going through a big period of growth and there's a lot of moving parts and changing dynamics and issues that you need to address. In a lot of situations, though, that frequency is way too much, and that's why I found the sweet spot is generally every 14 days. This gives your team enough time to go away and implement what needs to get done, while also ensuring that they're having the right guidance and support to keep them on track. With some businesses, though, leaders can get away with doing them once a month because their team are self-sufficient and don't need as much engagement or direct guidance. As with anything, though, you're just going to have to test this and see how often you need to be doing them. So really look objectively at your team, the challenges they're facing, and also talk to them as well. Ask them how much help and support they need. One thing you'll probably find, though, is your newer team members are likely to need more support, especially while they're settling into their role. So it may be a case that you need to do regular sessions with them at first, but you can scale these back over time once they're settled in and they know what they need to do. Strategy number 5 is getting direct feedback on you. You've probably heard the saying, people don't quit jobs, they quit managers, which is why your one-to-ones are a great opportunity for you to learn how you could better support your team going forward. You need to do this by creating a space and environment where people feel comfortable opening up, because you've got to remember a lot of people don't like difficult conversations or confrontation or anything that may be viewed as uncomfortable. That's why you've really got to reframe this by saying to them, look, the only way that I can support you is by me getting honest feedback about how I'm doing. Is there anything I need to consider or that I could do differently to make me a better leader for you and others? This permission-based approach makes it more likely that they're going to open up, and over time this is also going to help you build trust with your direct reports. During this time, you can also answer any questions they may have. Maybe something's going on in the business that they're unsure about. Maybe there's a decision that they want to know more about. You can really use this to address any issues or concerns. Think of it as a recalibration period to make sure that you're both on the same page. Strategy number 6 is to focus on the future. Because the other reason people quit jobs is they don't feel like they're growing or that this position is leading them towards their goals and the life that they want. And that's why it's on you as a leader to really understand and know what it is that your team want to get out of working for your business. So take the time to really find out about their goals, their vision for their role, how they see themselves progressing over time. You can also talk here about professional development. Maybe there's some some courses they want to do or skills they want to develop, which by you knowing it, you're then going to be able to support them in making it happen. Not only is this going to make it more likely that they'll be happier in their role, meaning they'll stay with your organization for longer, it'll also make them more valuable to the business because a more competent employee is going to be better at driving results. With that being said, this isn't going to be needed every session, especially if you're having frequent one-to-ones, but at least make a note to address this once a quarter to make sure that your team feel like they're growing and that they have everything that they need. So there you have it. There are 6 strategies that are going to help you have more effective one-to-ones with your direct reports. Like I said earlier, you can download my one-to-one cheat sheet in the description below that is going to recap everything, and you can easily refer to it to make sure that you're implementing all of this going forward. I'd love to hear from you about this though. If you have anything to add, any further insights or best practices that you found to be effective, please share them in the comments below because it may just help someone else who's trying to improve this part of their role. If you enjoyed this video, then please give it a like and hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss future videos. If you want to dive into this further, then you can also get a copy of my book, The Effective CEO 2.0, using the link in the description, where I'm going to show you how to maximize your time, lead with confidence, and grow a business without losing your sanity. I've been Byron Morrison. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.